Hello everybody, welcome back to Arthenex Plays Sunless Sea. So when we left off, we were exploring the Empire of Hands. We'd had our clothes stolen by a mischievous little scamp, and we chased her halfway around the world, it seemed like, and we didn't even get our clothes back. All we got was this stupid artifact. But at least the crew had a good laugh out about it and reduced our terror. Now we're going to move on to the next part of the island, Fountainhead Island. Ancient secrets peek out of the trees. Any may visit, but few Penties ever bothered to make the pilgrimage. A young ancient empire. The Empire of Hands is hardly as old as they pretend, but mimicry and theft infuses their whole culture. If the Penties have come to think that rulers should be buried in ancient temples, then it is ancient temples that they will build. It would hardly be the first time that their attempts to mirror humanity have entirely missed the point. Softly growing vegetation keeps a thick forest wrapped around variably ancient ruins. Even the yet-to-be-plundered ones are heavily scarred with crowbar marks. Temple in the forest. The clearing of parasympathetic trees looms an imposing structure. In a clearing of parasympathetic trees looms an imposing structure of wood and stone. A treasure hunt, which I can't do because I don't have an ancientish treasure map, or return to the boat. Well, let's go to the temple. The Vault of the First Explorer. It stretches through the forest in a mix of stone and wood, its style at the mercy of the Pentecost apes' current whimsies and inspirations. It would take a dedicated team to break in and uncover its secrets. Perhaps you will bring one here later. It will take a better equipped expedition to uncover this island's secrets and treasures. Okay. Perhaps there is someone in fallen London who might be able to help you get the treasures of this island. Alright. The last place to go is Hearthsake Island. A thin pillar of greasy yet appetizing smoke swipes from the only human settlement in the Empire. The Blumenbach Quarantine. The Admiralty has never stated precisely why it seeks to keep the Empire confined, although most opposition to it fades once said opposers actually encounter a Pentecost ape. They have been easy to corral, however. Though they do not lack wit, there is not an inventive bone in their hairy bodies, and no amount of stolen humanity has taught them the art of creating engines. The survivors of a pirate expedition have stolen this land, where apes are unwelcome except as an entree. The lost treasure hunter. He scripts on a map, muttering incoherently. North for each city the bats have brought down. He wipes his brow. Have you seen a big X on the ground? Have you seen a big X on the ground by any chance? I got these 4 map pieces that got me this far and said X would mark the spot, but I can't find an X anywhere. He looks at the map sadly. It should be here, it says. Now where am I supposed to dig? He's too busy to talk right now, but adds that he will be in the village later if you want to trade adventuring supplies. Don't try the meatballs, he warns, getting back to his search. You just don't want to do that. Greasy smoke and guiltily tempting aromas rise from a collection of huts around the Long Beach pirate ship and the field of pointedly impaled monkeys. An explosion just almost takes off your head. Sorry about that, blooms the boisterous pirate, lowering a smoking blunderbuss as bits of shattered tree rain down. New arrival, are we? Well, if you haven't got a tail, you're all right by me. He squints, momentarily suspicious. You don't have a tail, do you? Wouldn't put it past the thieving little buggers to go shaving one of their own. Wouldn't know fair play if it kicked them up right in the arse. His voice is louder than his blunderbuss. The congealed meat juices in his thick beard are better not considered. It was not madness that drove these pirates to cannibalism, but years of being shipwrecked without the comfort of meat. After a while, any meat would do. So I can dine at the captain's table. All are welcome to share the pirates' wealth, provided they have the stomach for it and the table manners, or I can return to the boats. This seems like a really, really bad idea, so of course we're going to do it. A feast of forbidden flesh. It is not a table, but a long plank from the pirates' old vessel stretched along the sand and set with bone cutlery. Whittled from the fallen. Once grace is duly spoken, everyone dives into the bounty, snatching up thigh and heart and strips of tender meat dripping in well-crisped fat. Not with your fingers, boy! The boisterous pirate booms at one hungry soul with juice dripping from his lips. We are hardly savages! He considers his pirates. "We are hardly ever savages," he corrects, exploding with a laugh that threatens to shake the table. "I lost 8 hunger and gained 5 terror and 1 unaccountably peckish." Okay, well, we're not going to do that again. The sea is quiet. Your journey is pleasantly uneventful. You have not been eaten by cannibal pirates. All things considered, a successful trip. Exploration is complete. Perhaps you can use the information you've gained. Prepare a comprehensive port report. Few have reason to brave the waters this far east, especially with the trade embargo. The Admiralty will pay especially well for up-to-date intelligence. I gain 100 fragments and 1 comprehensive port report. But no supplies. Alright, well, let's go talk to the flea-ridden mayor. King of an empty castle, the flea-ridden mayor scratches himself on a chair made of crates, surrounded by boxes of long-rotten trade goods. As a 5-souled ape, he would be able to petition for membership of the court. For now, the trade embargo has left him trapped on the outside, a 3-souled overseer with no talent for order. Sell your soul to the mayor. He doesn't have much to offer, but if you aren't using it, I don't think so. Acquire fresh supplies. Oddly little of the Empire of Hand's natural bounty is edible. The Ankies will help you find the edible stuff for a fee. Acquire emergency fuel. Got fuel? Got fuel? The 3-minute mayor nods quickly. Not cheap, not free. Can be arranged. London money, okay. Put on table. Look on docks, yes? I don't need fuel, but I do need supplies. So I will buy them for 20 echoes each, which is what I would pay in London, and I will buy a lot of them. Let's go up to 18. Okay. Excuse yourself. The Zeppelin turned away. 2 monkey guards wielding rifles and rusty bayonets blocked the bridge. "This is not for your eyes, outsider. Avert them. Walk away. Walk faster. Good human." Alright. Sure. Buried treasure being buried? Deep in the forest, an important-looking ape in yellow robes oversees 2 lesser monkeys as they dig a hole in the ground. Having dropped a strange-looking idol into the pit and covered it up, one scrapes a deep X over it, while the other slides a map into a bottle, corks it, and scampers off to throw it into the sea. Curious. However, any treasure country who may find the map and follow it here will be out of luck. Alright. Free outlandish artifact. Poke around the shore. Alright, I'm not going to do that again. Alright, perhaps not. We got our supplies. We got what we came here for, which is not much. But we got some new... We had an interesting experience, that's for sure. So let's head out. There's probably more to be explored in this general vicinity, but I'm more interested in what lies to the north. So I'm just going to kind of head straight up there, now that I once again have plenty of fuel and supplies. My terror is decent. How many... What's my cargo hold situation, just out of curiosity? Oh, wow. It's a good thing I didn't buy 2 more supplies. This is the pillared sea where Irem will lie, has always lain. Alright. This is one of the places I was looking for. This must be it over here. Wow, that looks cool. Some sort of giant tentacled statue? Or is that a crab with a whole bunch of eyes? Snakes, perhaps. Are they snakes with jeweled eyes? None have ever spoken truthfully of this place, Irem, the pillared city. She will rise from the sea in ice like dawn. She will be garlanded with red and decked with gold. The seventh serpent will watch you longingly from its high pedestal. You will always arrive as a stranger, but when you leave, some part of you will always remain. The house of the amber sky. Rest, traveler, our waters are warm, our cushions are petal soft. Lay your head here. You will be healed, or better yet, you will be renewed. Payment in coffee? Yes, please. I randomly have one. So let's compile a port report. A conundrum. When you sit down to write the report, you recall that it was written already. Who wrote it? The report records that it was already written when it was found. Who found it? The report describes another report, which will indicate the name of the finder. Where is the other report? There is a footnote which describes when you will record its location. When will that be? When all is well, and all manner of thing is well. Alright, so there's not much to do here, but there's a lot of stuff to buy. The Fisher of Dawn. This one will find treasures in river beyond sleep. Bring a suitable antiphon. Phantasmal Encounter. 189. Captain. A study of a clearing amid trees that do not grow underneath, of a Z-Captain smashing the image of a painted serpent. The Z-Captain's crew look on calmly. A forked tongue is visible in one's open mouth. The painting is tinted everywhere with viric, the greenish color of shallow sleep, which cannot be seen on the surface world. You are the Z-Captain in the painting. You are also the painter. I can buy that with 8 secrets? Maybe I shouldn't have... How many secrets do I have? I have 8. Why can't I buy that? Huh. Maybe because I haven't done it yet? Oh no, I can't buy it, but I can sell it for 2 secrets. I see. I can buy 2 lamentable relics for... I can buy a lamentable relic for a secret. I can buy an ambiguous Elith for a secret, or I can sell it for no secrets. I can buy a Watchful Curio. Oh, that will get me into Polythreme for a secret. Oh, I can buy a Soothin' Cooper long box to deliver to Station 3 for 3 secrets. An empty Mirror Catch box for 3 secrets. A Judgment's Egg for 10 secrets. Wow. Or a bale of Parabola linen for 50 fragments. Interesting. Threshold. None sail east from Irem. This shop is for those who sail east from Irem. Fuel. Oh, I can buy strange catches for 25 echo? Tales and tales and tales. So I can buy a Tale of Terror for 2 memories. Buy a memory for 2 visions of the surface. Well, probably should have brought them here. I can buy a Sail of the Surface for 2 Z stories. I can buy a Z story for 2 Tales of Terror. I can buy a Searing Enigma for 5 Extraordinary Implications. And I can buy an Extraordinary Implication for 333 echo. And I can buy a secret for 999 echo. What an interesting shop. It's going to be harder to get 7 Parabola linen than I thought. Oh, I can turn... Oh, interesting. I can turn coffee into Parabola linen. Interesting. But I think I'm going to go to the House of the Amber Sky, since I have 1 coffee. It's not worth 1 Parabola linen. Despite you range yourself in the cushions, close your eyes just for a moment. The mirror marches. Beneath the skin of dreams, behind the faces of mirrors, an orange sun sails in a fervid sky. Here are the borderlands of that place, close by Irem, and closest still to the house of the amber sky. And here you are in another place. The sun is warm on your uncovered head. Rest, recover, and dream. The jungle around you is rich with violently colored fruit, buzzing with insects and unseen life. There's a sound of watering water, too. Recover it. Retrieve a serpent image. The jungle around you is rich with violently covered fruit, buzzing with insects and unseen life. There's something nestled in the mossy crook of the gray-leafed tree, a wooden serpent lacquered with black, red, and yellow. Its eyes are garnet flakes. Mind if I pick that up? The genial magician asks. Was he with you when you lay down to sleep? Rare fruits. I can't do that because I'm not wounded. Rarest fruits. In ages past, birds stole the seeds from the garden. One bird hid here in the mirror marches. Perhaps you know the story. You can do that. Bargain for a parabox. Yes, the serpent says dreamily. I go to meet the skin of the sun. I will die. The space I leave will remain in this box. I am dead here, and I do not live in this world. You live in the world, and you are not dead here. It is impossible, but it will protect your kingdom from the worst of the sunlight until you die. His tongue flickers. But I must drink your future first. I will not die thirsty. This will have all your skills. It must be at least 100. It will, however, give you an item which will allow you to colonize Estival. Interesting. Interesting. Alright, well, now I know how to do that. Let's do this for our magician. A weapon, perhaps. Humans rule the waking world, he tells you, more or less, and the Finger Kings rule most of this place. A long time ago, some rather careless people made these images to imprison Finger Kings. I am not so careless. I can use it to exact my revenge on the king that took my hand. He's gloating. He actually strokes his mustache with his hook. He retires to his cabin to investigate the serpent image, but emerges a day later disappointed. Different geometries, he explains obscurely. Do you mind if we pop by the Khanate? I can find someone there to help me work this one out. Visit the port of Khan's Heart. Alright, I can do that. So, what am I going to do here? I've got 4 open spots and no copy. Am I going to buy some parabola linen for fragments? I think I will, actually. I need 7 to turn into that guy, and I have 1. I'll probably just buy... Let's see, I have like 100 and some fragments. I have 170. So I'll buy 3 here, plus the one I have. I'll just buy the last 3 in London and turn them in. I'll still make out okay on that deal. I don't have 10 secrets to buy a Judgment's Egg, and I'm not sure that I would, even with 10 secrets. I'll think about it. I'm not sure 3 points of network is worth that. 3 points of network is 3 points, basically 3 vital intelligence. I'm not sure it's worth that. Okay. So now I have 4 parabola linen. So that would be quite a trade run. It'd be fairly profitable. London to the colony for coffee. Up here for parabola linen. You can sell parabola linen in London for like 60, I think. You can buy coffee there for 42. You can buy it in the colonies for 38. That would be quite profitable, but man, it would take so long. Do I want to buy a Watchful Curio for a secret? I'm pretty close to polythreme. Sure, let's buy one. I can afford to spend 1 secret on that. Does that take up a hold space? It does. Okay, and that's my last point of cargo space. So I have my Judgment Egg. I have my Claymen, hopefully. I've got enough parabola linen to be able to buy the rest and feel okay about it. Let's head back. I could explore around here and pick up some more parabola linen. I'm still not sure how I feel about trading fragments for money, though. Not that good, really. I feel like I'd rather have the fragments. So I don't think I'm going to trade them in. Anything up here? Doesn't look like it, but... Oh no, Irem. See if we can remove that blank spot from our map. Do we circle around? It's a waste of food and fuel, but yeah, circle around. Well, maybe it's not a waste of food and fuel. We made a new discovery. And a bunch of new discoveries. This is kind of interesting. So supposedly there's a way you can sail east from here. I wonder if that has to do with the find your father's bones ambition. So, we might as well head for the Khanate. We can do a little bit more exploring and pick up the next part of the Magician's Quest. And it's not really out of the way. Back to London. Yeah, I'll just hold this course. It's not quite worth it to me to go remove this blank spot on the map. Does this lighthouse have a name? Doesn't look like it. Fog, darkness, and terror. They all seem to go together. Let's see. Do I know what this island is? I don't think I do. See if we can get some more fragments here. There's a few more. There's supposed to be 4 islands in the Empire of Hands, and I've only discovered like 2 of them. There must be more. Is this really not an island? With a name? Tory Point. Perhaps not what I was thinking it was going to be called. Oh, we should probably head over to Polythreme. I bought that friggin' Watchful Curio. Alright, let's head over there. So I picked up a little bit more engine power, but I don't notice any difference in my fuel consumption, I don't think. Seems to be about the same. So I wonder if its fuel consumption is related to engine power or actually the engine that you're using. Hard to say. Almost. This spot off the... there we go. Oh, there's some kind of island here. Is it one I can land on? Let's send out the Z-Bat. Godfall. There is something I can land here. Alright, well let's check this out before we go back to Polythreme. Sometimes, just occasionally, bits of the roof fall off. Be glad you weren't here when this one did. The brawling bearded men who live here call themselves monk. Of more wine. Oh no, the abbot commander says. They pay lip service to state stalactite, which fell from the roof, but their chief interest seemed to be wine, blood, and shouting. Oh no, the abbot commander says sternly. We've had too much trouble with this. The brothers can't shoot straight. Take the nasty stuff away. Okay. I don't have any wine, unfortunately. Of blood. Offer them a hunting trophy as a gift for their collection. Of shouting. Let them tell you about the past and present events of the monastery. Or explore the shadowed citadel, which I can't because I don't have 5 foxfire candles. I think I found this in my first playthrough, if I remember correctly. Bad things will happen if you run out. Alright, well, let's do this. They're eager to talk about their history. The stalactite, they assure you, was one of the citadels of the starved men who dwell on the roof. When it fell, few of its occupants survived and became the monk's progenitors. How does that work, you wonder, with their vow of celibacy? They become vague and are suddenly eager to speak of the details of passing shipping. Alright, let's do this. Louder, ever louder. The trophy inspires the monks to feasts of bragging. The one who broke a giant albino more's neck. The one who wrestled a heptycheer. A third punched his way out of a bound shark. A fourth, and so on. You are largely forgotten, but there are truths of note in all of the tipsy boasting. I gain 19 fragments and one of each type of story. Oh, that's pretty good. Maybe I can do that repeatedly. Something to remember. Okay. Can't buy anything here. Alright. Good enough. It's only a very short distance from here to, what's it called? Commingle. I wasn't so focused on the north last time, I almost certainly would have found that place. Turn Clayman. Alright. Let's give him the Watchful Curio. The clay broker, leaning on his copper staff, examines you coolly. The king will see your little friend, he says. No, he won't see you, not just now. That night, the hill of Polythreme quakes. The words on the walls uncurl themselves. The birds' cries are everywhere heard, as claymen sit up, opening incurious eyes, waiting their tithing to London. The clay broker awaits you on the quayside. On the flat palm of his broad hand, the Watchful Curio squats, but it is changed. Our regards to stone is all he says. I now have a wakeful idol. Interesting. I don't know what to make of that. A wakeful idol. Well, maybe it'll come in handy at some point. Let's see. I don't think I'll come. I think I can go down here as long as I don't compile a port report. Shall I sink those guys? Sure. Let's sink them. Can't quite reliably kill them. I don't know if they got a shot off. Wow, 12 damage. Ouch. 4 supplies. I'll take it. It's interesting how everybody around here wants coffee. They want it at Irem, they want it at Khan's Heart, or they want it at Khan's Glory. I don't think there's any reason to stop there. Don't really want to tangle with these guys. They might make Khan's Heart mad at me, which I don't want. Wait for him to sail past. Man, it's like as soon as I turn on my lights they see me, but until then they don't. sound the all clear already. Okay, find help for the genial magician. Someone in Khan's heart has what he needs. Hire informers. Speak to sages. Oh man, I need another watchful curio? Or I can just spend 500 echo. I'll just spend the money. The merchants of truth. The informers of the Copper Quarter by the docks peddle knowledge from all over the Untersee. The only things they won't sell are their real names. One who calls himself the Bright Bird introduces you and the magician to a wizened man in a bright spider silk, a collector of looking glasses. The magician and the collector mutter together for a while. The collector wheezes with laughter. At last the magician returns, eyes bright. All shall be well, he says, and all manner of things shall be well. I know where to go now. I know what to do. Thank you, my friend. My revenge is almost within my grasp. He looks ruefully at his hook. Return to London to continue and visit the Forgotten Quarter. Okay. I need to hire a crew. Let's just take a quick look in the Nephrite Quarter. Interesting. Serene Aquarium. And sell it for 300. This is one of the things I can make, I think. So I can make it, bring it here, sell it, and then make it again to keep increasing my mirrors. Oh, I can buy coffee here for 40. Interesting. So if I buy coffee here for 40, I can buy spider silk for 60. If I buy coffee here for 40, I can take it up to Irem and trade it for parabola silk for 60, which I can take back to London. I don't really care about romantic literature. Do I have enough fuel and supplies to make it back? I do have to take a detour up north. Let's go ahead and buy a couple just to be on the safe side. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so we have to go all the way back up there. Well, we might as well stop at the harbor on the way. Gotta turn my light off. It's amazing how close to them I can sail with my light off and they still won't see me. Well, they saw me that time. I really don't want to fight you. How much damage did you do to me? 10 damage. More for the political implications than for because I'm actually afraid of you. I'm sure I could sink you, but I just don't want the Khanate to get mad at me. Because then I won't be able to trade with them. And what's the fun in that? Alright, I can turn my light back on now. So, again, we got a lot of sailing through explored waters in front of us. But hopefully we'll be able to to advance the story of our sigil-ridden navigator. Nutmid Harbor. There might be another island in here. I almost feel like it's worth just taking a peek, because we're so close to it anyway. So we're just here for a port report, basically. We can get fuel and supplies there if we need to, but I think we should be okay. Okay, so let's see if there's anything in this big dark square here. Well, there's Peterson's Rift. There's an albino moray. Doesn't look like there's anything here. Send out my Z-Bat. Go away. I don't want to fight you. No islands. Any more discoveries to be made? Doesn't look like it. Well, I think I can get a free fuel and supply by having tea with these guys. So I might as well head up there, since I'm close. Then it's time to eat some of my crew. Isn't that the way it goes? Yep, 1 fuel, supplies, and lost 10 terror. Which drops us down to 37. Still in pretty good shape. Still in pretty good shape. There's a whirlpool in here. Let's go to the north side of it. Does this one have a name? Dathuli's Rage. There's a couple of them, like, right next to each other up here. They don't have a sound effect, which is kind of odd. I kind of expect them to have one, like a... or a... That would sound kind of cool. Sound. Okay, Chapel of Lights. So, Sigil-ridden Navigator, let's see what the next step in your quest is. Pay another price. For you, a lesser payment, he whispers. Post no guards on your ship tonight. Ask no questions. In the morning, perhaps you'd like to join us for breakfast. I would. A new destination. The chapel's congregation are soft-footed. No one on board hears them come and go. In the morning, a crewman's bed is empty. You divert your crew's concerns. Later, you take part in a late, warm, red breakfast in the church's crypt. When you emerge with a smiling priest, your navigator hurries forward from a pew. The sigil, what does it mean? Who carved it on me? What did I do to deserve it? The smiling priest raises a hand. You are on a journey, my friend. Take one step at a time. I've seen your sigil before, carved in ice at Frostbound. Go there. You will answer your first question. That will lead you to the next. The navigator's thanks are muted. He plods back to your ship. Before you leave, the smiling priest gives you a wink. Okay. Well, that's like really close, but it's in the wrong direction. Still, I'll go ahead and head over there. I'll pick up another free fuel and supplies. It's kind of weird that that breakfast eating my crewmen didn't actually reduce my hunger. I kind of feel like it probably should have. Back and forth, back and forth. At least it is very close by. Show the squatters my navigator's sigil. Oh. I have to pay 5 supplies to do that? A plucky researcher recognizes it. I know it well, I can show you, but the way isn't easy. I'll not take anyone frail. You'll need ropes, crampons, skins, tents, and I'll want paying, of course. My bursary is wearing rather thin. 5 supplies. Alright. He didn't exaggerate. The ice is slick as an oiled mirror. You'll need pitons and spiked boots to navigate the slopes, and a misplaced foot will send great chunks of it thundering into a thirsty sea. The air bites like a bound shark. Your face is numb, your fingers stiff, your throat raw. The climb takes you around a sheer white cliff, the waters below swimming with the shards of razored ice. At last, a frozen ledge. A vertical sheet of ice rises before you, reflective as conjurer's glass. Engraved upon it, 20 feet high, is the navigator's sigil. Impressive, isn't it? The researcher says, dropping his pack. It's one of the old accords between Wither and Irem. It means, almost never remembered. Your navigator approaches it warily. The sigil on his temple sparks with blue fire. He reaches out, his fingers touching those of his reflection in the ice, and his reflection lunges forward, whispering something in his ear. The navigator crumples onto the snow. Oh, the plucky researcher says, damn, we're going to have a devil of a time getting him back to the ship. You do, but you manage it. Even back in your cozy cabin, you imbibe mulled rum. Will you ever be warm again? I have 1 wound. At 3 wounds, I'll die. I think I can cure that, but with back in London, I hope. I have to speak to him to learn what he saw in Frostbound. Okay. But I have to wait until something awaits me. Captain, he's asking for you. The Nabber slept fitfully since he collapsed on the frostbound ice. Alright, well, we probably can't make it back to London with only 5 supplies. So, we'll have to sail down to Mid Harbor to buy some more supplies, unfortunately. Well, hopefully we can talk to the navigator on the way. Round and round we go. Let's see. Where is he going to have me take me next? The way this is going, he'll want to go to Irem next. It's hilarious. We don't want to attract the attention of the albino moray. Alright, it's looking the other way. We should be safe. There's a shark there, too. I'm kind of surprised that lantern hasn't come up yet. There it is. Alright. New purpose. His sigil is grown. It reaches down to his cheek now. His skin marks it The skin it marks is pitted and gray. Captain, the ice told me the sigil's reflection was its opposite, or inverse. It doesn't matter. We must go north, north and north and north, to the avid horizon, to avoid its approach. Where are my charts, my compass, my sanding line? Lovely. Well, it wasn't quite what I thought it was going to be, but it wasn't far off. Well, we have to buy more supplies in any case. Okay. That's enough to be going on with. Well, again, we are relatively close, so we might as well go there. I wonder, is he going to want to step through to be on to the other side? Don't, please don't attract the attention of that shark. Thank you. Well, we were in such good shape with terror, but now it's starting to become a concern. Up to 46. At least we've made quite a bit of money on this trip. I forgot to check and see what my spies needed. I kind of forget what it was. My spies and Khan's heart. Oh well. Not too worried about it. More sailing through the explored sea. Still, it's definitely worth doing since we're so close. This place, Avid Horizon, kind of gives me the creeps. It's like, kind of reminds me of the gate in that book. It's the last book in the Elven Vein series. It's called Elven Vein, Elven Blood, Elven... I don't know. I don't remember. Anyway, these people go into this cave, and they're exploring it, and they find this massive gate that their ancestors used, or some of their ancestors used, to pass from another world into this one. And it's incredibly creepy. Surrounding the gate are all of these machines that they brought with them that don't work in the new world because there's not as much magical power here or something. But the gate is still active even after all this time. Alright, lead the sigil as a navigator to a certain dock pillar. Scraps of paper, stiff with northern frost, are stuffed into its cracks. This is going to cost me a strategic information. Unforgiven. The message is carved into the wood. I'm glad I didn't turn that strategic information into a vital intelligence right away. I thought about it. If you wish to return to London, if you seek the forgiveness of the Empress, if you will sacrifice all to make amends, record your name and crime. Your navigator hunts through the slips of paper. They are a library of villains and villainy. Here are murders, betrayals, treasons, and perjuries. He stops, stares at one, pulls at three. This is mine, he said. I wrote this. It is a confession. Beneath, in more recent and less careful letters, he has added a note. You did not answer. If I cannot be forgiven, then I will forget. The Chapel of Lights will help me for a price. He laughs wildly. Twice! I paid them twice, once to take my memories and once to guide me back to them. His laughter deepens into hysteria. 2 crewmen help you drag him back to your ship. Speak to my sigil origin navigator to hear his confession. I might as well get a port report. I still don't want to do this. Well, I do have a better ship now. Sure. Yes, yes, this is what the rumors meant. A hunter frozen in the ice, hands contorted to claws, mouth agape. With her left hand she had plucked her own eye from the socket. It lies very close to the surface of the ice. If the stories are true, there's a dark virtue in that eye. Take it then, but perhaps you should put it into a jar. Eat the flesh of the deep lurkers, and your eyes will change. Interesting. Don't really want to do that. Okay. Let's speak to our Sigil Rigid Navigator. Captain, may I speak to you in private? His voice is dull, his sigil throbs, red as embers in the leafy gloom. His forgotten crime. He hands you his confession, retrieved from Void's approach. Please read. To whom it may concern, I hereby record my full and honest confession in the hopes of absolution in her enduring majesty's service. In May, my brother Richard and I took service on the Bonnie Swan. He as a boatswain, I as a navigator. The captain, Swinburne, was a good man, but ambitious. When we reached King Eater's castle, our supplies were low, but we pressed on in the hope of finding land. There was none. Yes, I have been there myself. Our stores nearly depleted, we turned back, and here I committed the first of my crimes. I mistook my readings and set a bad course. For days we steamed northwest, not west, into the empty dark. Our supplies ran out, and still no sign of port. Hunger set in, and terror, and when I pray was madness. Ravening, desperate, raving, we agreed to draw lots, with the loser giving up life and flesh so the others could go on. The first of us to draw the short straw was the captain. The second was my brother. My dear, solemn, solid Richard. There were more after. 7 times we drew. 7 of our number went into the pot, and not a one of them quietly. Those who made it back to port swore never to speak of our crime, but one of us, someone with a keener conscience than mine, confessed. I fled the noose to Z again. I regret it all. I will do anything, please. Here he scribbled in a later note when the Admiralty failed to select him for absolution through service. You did not answer. If I cannot be forgiven, then I will forget. The Chapel of Lights will help me for a price. His eyes meet yours when you look up from the page. They are dull as old iron. I am done, Captain. I have done. I have one last thing to ask of you. He buries his face in his hands. Even if I could remember, I would not want to, but it is only a matter of time until this takes something I can't do without. Maybe I will forget how to breathe, or which way is north. Perhaps I will strand us at Z again, and it'll be oaths of silence and straws in the dark. Be rid of me, Captain. Put me ashore somewhere I can be forgotten. He wishes to retire. Speak with him to learn where he might find peace. Leave me on Codex, where my silence won't be questioned, or at the Empire of Hands, where no one will care. Would be released for him of a sort, and it has a certain sanguine poetry. No, I don't want to eat him. I don't want to eat him. You have heard the mute exiles on Codex reward anyone who brings them a new initiate. They pay with secrets of fire. There will be no such recompense from the apes of Port Stanton, but your navigator offers to leave you his tools, chart books, and notebooks in return for passage. Codex to earn a valuable item, or Port Stanton in the Empire of Hands for a lesser reward but an increase in my mirrors. I'll leave him at Codex. See what the item is. I suspect it'll be a Searing Enigma, but maybe not. I do have another first officer. The Carnelian Exile, whose story has not been unlocked yet, but at least she will fill in the empty spot on in my crew. It's funny how many of my crew's stories are ending by them either dying or leaving my ship. This is such an odd spot for a lighthouse. It's like way at the very top of the map. Maybe it makes more sense in on other maps if it's like somewhere else where a lighthouse would make more sense. But I can't imagine anybody building one up here. Oh, that must be one of those. There's another one of those moths. The other one was like at the southern continent. If I take him to the Empire of Apes, he's likely to lose his soul, which I don't really want. Another sad parting with a crew member. Desperate cave full of mute exiles and an inexplicable colony of shivering, bad-tempered monkeys. I might as well do that. And then allow your navigator to join the mute exiles. The stones of Codex crawl with sigils. Your navigator steps into the enfolding silence of the glum gray shore. His tattoo shivers like a nestling gull. One of the mute exiles brings him a loaf of brown algae bread. Another gives him a chipped jug of water. The navigator does not thank you or say goodbye. From the moment he sets foot on the isle, he does not speak at all, but he takes your hand in his briefly before turning to the exile's cave. As you leave, one of the exiles tugs at your sleeve. He leads you to an unmarked stone the size of a church Bible and produces a chisel and hammer from his robe and strikes the stone 3 times. It splits in half. Inside, a sigil the color of quartz glistens, trapped in the stone like a fossil. The exile gestures you to take it. I gained a searing enigma. Yeah, I'm not surprised. That's kind of what I thought I would get. Okay. Should I go to Wither? It's not very far out of my way, but well, I don't know. I don't care. This episode is drawn on long enough. At this point, I want to get to Hunter's Keep and then back to London, so I think I'll skip it. It's another one of those life bergs. Swing around to this side and see if I can avoid some of this fog bank. I'm almost certainly going to have over 50 terror when I get back to London. Oh, but I can reduce it a little bit if I kill these bats. This will reduce it a little bit more, and there's some more bats over here. Down to 50. Alright, I'm not going to chase them that far away. Alright, freaking Venderbite is right there. I might as well get a port report. Let's explore. I lost 1 terror by finding the Vengeance of Jonah again. Sure, let's try it. Last time it did not work. 60% chance of success. I was fortunate. I lost 5 terror for 60 echo. Still not sure that that's worth it. We'll see. It's going to depend what happens on Hunter's Island. Hopefully these claymen that I have that are supposed to go to London will work for this quest. I do have the mirror catch box. Free supplies. Can't complain too much about that. This will reduce my terror a little bit more. Oh, I forgot to put my new first officer in there. I should do that. Let's do that now. Oh, I have a clay man, but I don't have a foxfire candle. Not realize I needed foxfire candles. Well, hopefully those claymen won't leave my ship as soon as I dock here. It can make me go all the way back to Polythreme for more. But they might. It'll be just like this game to do that to me. Well, I'm down below 50 terror at least. Okay. Nope, doesn't look like they did. Alright, I'm just gonna do that, like, right away. I only have a 30% chance of success. I need to navigate the dreams. Can you lend me there and help me with the dreaming? Sure, let's try. I failed. Wrong way. This is a trap. Wake up. I'll try again later. Let's just really quickly... Oh, I can give a secret instead of a fee. I might do that. Well, I never traded away my recent news. I should go to the lightship and do that then. But what I would like to do is rest, because that will heal. Yeah, that will heal my wound. Got rid of most of the rest of my terror. And now let's go buy let's go buy 5 foxfire candles. You never know how many of those you're gonna need. And then I'm just gonna really quickly run out here and finish this thing. I don't think I need a lantern for this. Right, the mechanic says. That's a problem. The pool we need is down there. He points to the ruins. I'm afraid we'll need to do some digging. Alright, well, I got plenty of supplies. Beneath Hunter's Keep. It takes a full day to clear away sufficient ruins to reach the cellars. In the deepest sub-cellar, your candles illuminate a litter of tumbled stones, the remnants of a temple. The signs on the stones have a Kaganian look. A pool at the cellar's center is almost dry. The remaining water there seethes oddly in the candlelight, as if it were near boiling, but it's quite cool to the touch. The writhing river flows near here, the mechanic remarks, one of the tributaries of Dream. My enemies find me when I sleep, but this water will attract my enemies to this poor fellow. He bends to dip his hand in the water and sketches a sign on the clay man's forehead. The man watches him stolidly. The mechanic hands him the mirror catch box. Hold this, he says. Keep it open. Don't let it go, no matter what happens. The clay man's huge hands enfold the box. There, the mechanic says, turning to you, a serpent trap. Now I can sleep. I can finally sleep. He smiles. And then I think I might be able to offer you something rather interesting. Alright, I lost a clay man, I lost foxfire candles, I lost an empty mirror catch box and 5 supplies, and I now have a serpent trap. The clay man looks confused as it grasps the mirror catch box in its great gray hands. It would look a lot more confused if it knew what to expect. This will allow the tireless mechanic to get a night's sleep. Allow the kind of mechanic to enjoy his sleep. It might be messy, he warns you. Could you have a couple strong sailors standing by? Tell them to snap the box shut when the trouble begins. He holds up a bottle of laudanum. I will be sleeping deeply. Okay. I can afford to lose 2 crew. Messy indeed. When nothing seems to be happening, you take to your own bunk. But a roar from the clay man brings you sprinting back to the mechanic's cabin. You fling open the door. The man's eyes seethe with Viric flame. It's struggling against the efforts of the sailors to restrain it. As you rush to assist, it smashes one sailor against the wall with terrible force, but the other manages to snap the box closed. Instantly, the man goes stiff, a lifeless clay statue. The Viric glow now pulsates from the box. In the bunk, the mechanic sleeps on, his face wreathed in dreamy smiles. He will sleep so until morning. I now have a mirror catch box full of very angry dream snakes. Learnt the mechanic stole a secret from the dreams of the stone pigs. I lost a serpent trap. And I lost a crew. Ask the mechanic to explain exactly what the hell is going on. Well, it's like this. I stole a secret from the Echo Bazaar with the help of the Finger Kings. You know, the serpents who rule Dream. Then I reneged on the Finger Kings. Don't look at me like that. Would you rather I'd given them the secret? Okay. Pigs of Stone. It's like I talk about engines all the time. I'm sure you've noticed, and I dream about them. I found myself dreaming of the stone pigs. I don't entirely understand still, but they're how the bazaar travels between stars. Did you know they did that? And they sleep so the Finger Kings can crack their dreams open. So the Finger Kings recruited me. I found a secret in those dreams, an engine like Z's never seen. Oh, Captain, let me build it for you. You won't be sorry, but there are some things I'll need. I know, isn't that always the way? Take 1 element of dawn, 1 casket of sapphires, and 40 units of stinging ivory. Find Frostbound in the north and retrieve the mechanic's secret from the... And settling sage is now rescue or ransom him from wisdom. Wow. I need help to build the engine. It'll need to be alive, like the pigs, and or better at metal. Rescue a ransom him from wisdom in the Sea of Lilies near the Connate. Okay. See the mechanic's secret from the penultimate chamber. Wow. I had to hide the secret somewhere and the Finger Kings couldn't go. I hoped they'd leave me alone then, so I put it in the Frostbound. Not the very heart of the Frostbound. I'm not insane, but quite close to the heart. Okay. We need a once living monster material, and since we can't get to the heart of the bazaar, no, we really can't. We'll need something from the Dawn machine. Sorry. I need an element of Dawn, a casket of sapphires, and 40 units of Stygian Ivory, along with the mechanic's secret and the unsettling sage, to King Eater's castle. Wow. He doesn't want much, does he? My goodness. That's going to be quite the quest. Still, it's probably doable, just time consuming. And we're down to 13 crew. That's the 11 I need with 2 extras. That's probably fine. And they won't eat as much food, which is the whole point of having the We Are Clays. Oh, I was going to go turn in my recent news. Oh well. It's past time for me to wrap up this episode. Alright, back in London. Still got a few things to do, but I'm going to leave this episode here. So thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed it, please consider liking the video or subscribing to the channel. In either case, I hope you have a terrific day.